Somehow, some way, the Pittsburgh Steelers need to add Hines Ward to the coaching staff next year. Like dead set, you bring in Hines in some fashion. OC, receiver coach, water boy, don't care. You need to bring in Hines Ward for next year. G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. I mean that. Bring back Hines Ward to the black and gold. Now, I saw this story 2 days ago, but I was a little bit busy doing stuff, so I couldn't jump right on it. So it's a bit of old news, and it's also like future news where, what direction do the Steelers go next year with the OC? I really hope that the Pittsburgh Steelers beat Seattle for the first time in a long time coming up with Mason Rudolph. I want to see this, fairy tale or like magical story keep going. I don't care. Just keep winning games and see what happens with a chance to the playoffs. Now, speaking of playoffs, I will go in another video later on today. So come back in a few hours' time. We'll talk about the playoff predictions or playoff watch or what teams need to get us to the next step. But I do want to talk about this. There's a possibility with Mike Tomlin, the Rooneys, the organization, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they could reach out to Hines Ward for an OC job. They could reach out to Hines Ward for maybe a receiver job. I don't know. They could reach out in some capacity. You reach out to Hines Ward and you get him in the building. The Pittsburgh Steelers need a bit of new life. They need some old Steelers in there, and I mean like veterans. They need some black and gold true Steelers that come back in and set the path right for some of these young blokes. They really do. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I did see this article via Steelers Now, so I'll put the article in the description below. And it says here that Hines Ward is now out as the head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, which was the XFL team, and Wade Phillips is to replace him. Hines Ward was a coach last year with the XFL, and I believe he went, what is it? I've got it here too. He went 3-7 through 3-7, so they played a 10-game stretch. So the numbers aren't there, but that's okay. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not worried about the record. Bring back Hines Ward somehow, some way. The NFL, the Hall of Fame committee, they seem to not want to have Hines Ward in the Hall of Fame. So bring him back and make them have another reason why he should be in there. Hines Ward gets cut and he doesn't even make the 15. James Debo Harrison, he gets cut. He doesn't make the panel of 15 for a chance to go to the Hall of Fame. Bring him back. There could be like a big chance if the Steelers are smart enough to bring back some leadership, some guys at that position in coaching. Like we don't have an OC. We've got Eddie Faulkner, Mike O'Sullivan calling the plays. We don't have an OC next year. Now, Hines Ward has done a bit of coaching. So he was 3-7, not too worried about the record. So it says here that Hines Ward is out and free to coach elsewhere. He called on with the New York Jets as an offensive assistant prior to the 2019 season. He stayed there through a 2020 season and then was hired by Florida Atlantic University in 2021, became their wide receivers coach. And then, of course, last year in 2022, he was a San Antonio Brahmas coach for those guys out there. And they also had the color scheme was very similar to us too. If you guys ever seen it, San Antonio Brahmas, the Brahma Bull, that's based off The Rock as well because he's the XFL guy. And I think too now, the reason why they're moving around so many parts is that the XFL and the USFL are merging. So there's got to be some reason why the Hines Ward was cut. But all I'm saying is bring him back. Could you imagine like how awesome it would be to see Hines Ward on the sidelines and Mike Tomlin? Look, I think that Mike Tomlin, he may get an extension. If they bring back a guy like Hines Ward, he may get an extension. Could you imagine the pathway that could exist where you bring back Hines Ward, Coach Tomlin coach for another 4 or 5 years, he then hangs it up, and then Hines Ward takes over as head coach? It would be awesome. I know I'm thinking so far ahead, but imagine that. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see Hines Ward become offensive coordinator? Would you like to see Hines Ward become, play caller, receivers coach, anything like that? I reckon somehow, some way, you have to get Hines Ward back in the building. Turn around this culture. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback next year. It's almost like it's week to week. I hope we can beat the Seattle Seahawks, and I hope we can beat the Ravens. Like I said, I'm doing a playoff video next in the next few hours. If these things happen, fantastic. We have a chance at the playoffs. But next year, bring back Hines Ward. He would provide some spark and leadership for this team. If we had that, then maybe the culture can start to turn around and we start playing Pittsburgh Steelers football.